So as Joe said, my name is Pablo. I'm going to be talking about building a personal brand. So everyone in this room already has a personal brand. You already have a personal brand. Even though maybe you don't have an online presence and people say, okay, yeah, I don't have social media, I don't use LinkedIn or I don't use Twitter or something like that, that is a personal brand. Or maybe you have like a generic online presence, like a basic LinkedIn profile, or basic Twitter account, or a basic GitHub account. That's also your personal brand. Or maybe your internal personal brand inside the company is also really important. The way that you talk, the way that you present yourself with your teammates, it's also your personal brand. This is an example. As Joy mentioned, I have a YouTube channel. I have this character or this persona online called Pelado Nerd, which means bald and nerd, easy to remember. So this is the way I use Slack on my community Slack, right? It's just my handle, a picture of a cartoon based on Rick and Morty, by the way, nice. And this is the way I type on that Slack community, right? But this is my work Slack profile. As you can see, it's a different one. It has my real name, a real picture, and the way I type is also different. Yeah. As you can see, I have different personas or different brands depending on my audience. So first, when you want to build your personal brand, you have to know what's your goal. What's the idea of your brand? What do you want to do? So maybe you are transitioning roles. Maybe you want to build credibility in a new field, right? Maybe you are moving from management to technical side, or maybe you are passionate about music and you want to start a band or something like that. Or maybe you are someone that is still learning how to develop or maybe how to program, and it's going to be a new field that you're going to be entering. Or maybe you want to be a go-to expert in your field inside your company. So you want to position yourself as a higher person and a better one. Or maybe you want to just progress in your career. You want to get noticed and within your company or even your industry. And this is actually really important in my opinion. I've seen this many times inside and outside my company, seniors that are too quiet and they don't progress. I mean, they are really good technical people, they are perfectly capable, but because they are too quiet or they don't show off what they're doing, they don't get noticed. And sometimes they don't get those promotions because people don't know what they're doing. And they know that they are technical experts maybe, but they are not showing up and not showing the impact inside the company. So getting noticed is really important. And it's really important as well to learn how to own problems. I remember a few years ago in my previous company, there was a certificate, a TLS certificate that was going to expire. And I remember talking with my manager at the time, and they were asking me, hey, can you fix this problem? I said, sure, let me check with the IT department because I need to buy a new certificate. And in that day, the IT department wasn't available, the person wasn't available on the phone. So we couldn't reach him and we couldn't buy the certificate because we didn't have a card. My manager was also a new person. They didn't have a company card. I didn't because I was just an engineer. I don't know why engineers don't have company cards, but yeah, we don't usually. So I remember having this problem. I say, okay, we need to buy this certificate. It's only $100, but we don't have the card. How do we solve this problem? And it's going to expire today. And our site is going down. So I remember my boss was freaking out. Hey, we have to solve this problem. This is something that needs to be fixed. And there was a lot of chaos at the moment. A lot of other things were breaking. So I remember saying something like, you know what? Don't worry. I'll figure it out. Go and check with your other teammates. Go solve other problems. I don't know what managers do. Just go and have meetings. And yeah, just have a lot of meetings. I'll solve this problem. Don't worry. So I just did if I think about it right now, it's like obvious, right? I just paid the certificate with my card. I just bought the certificate, used my personal card, bought it, solved the problem, changed the certificate, all good. A few days later, the IT department came back and said, hey, sorry, I had to buy a certificate with my card. You weren't available. They say, of course, no worries. We are going to refund you. Great. A few months later, we were having like an offsite. That company was Envision, rest in peace. So that company was 1,000 people. All of them were remote. So every year or every 2 years, we had an offsite. And we went to the offsite in Phoenix. And I remember like passing by the CEO of the company, never had a meeting with him, never talked to him before. And he saw me and said, hey, you're Pablo, right? Yes, yes, I am Pablo. I heard about your certificate thing. Thank you for that. That was awesome. And I say, what? Yeah, you know about that? Yeah, I heard of it. Thank you very much. That was a great way to solve the problem. So I took a picture with him to have this proof. I'm going to tell this story someday, I said. So yeah, so I remember thinking about that and saying, that was crazy. I just bought a certificate. I got noticed by the CEO of the company. And then a few months later, they were talking CEO meetings, whatever, all hands. And they were saying like, yeah, I know that if there is a problem and you have to check the dashboard, you go to Datadog and grab the dashboard that is made by Pablo because he created the dashboard and that is great. Thank you, Pablo. And I say, what? This is my best friend now, the CEO of the company, right? So doing something like that definitely, I got noticed by him. And it definitely helped. I mean, from then, I got a promotion. I got messages from him saying, "Hey, great work on this one. Maybe we can talk someday to do something else." So, or maybe, sorry, going back to why do you want to build your brand? Maybe you just want to help others, right? Making your company or industry a better place. And this is important because all the things that we do as staff or principal engineers, I believe, is to make your company better and more valuable. So you are directly raising the value of the company by doing your job. And I have conversations with friends that maybe they are not in the field, and they ask me, what do you do every day? And I say, yeah, I don't know, I have meetings like managers and I talk with people. Yeah, but why? And I say, well, I try to fix problems. Yeah, but which problems? I don't know. I just bought a certificate the other day. That was awesome. I say, yeah, but why? And the thing is that all of those small things, like helping others and making sure that the problems are fixed, is adding value to the company. So the engineering, at least in my part, because I am an engineer as well, the engineers inside the company are going to be better, and that raises the value of the company. And also, if you are helping others as well outside your company, you are also making the industry a better place. So you need to decide what do you want to be known for, right? What's your defining expertise or passion? So if the goal is a tech leadership role, maybe you can be a mentor, or you can try to help others by sharing your technology expertise. But it is important to find out what is important for the company, right? What does the company need that you can help with? So what things that you can do that are unique for you are skills that want to be synonymous with your name. So if people think about, okay, let's solve a problem. What is the dashboard that I'm going to use? Oh yeah, I'm going to use the Pablo's dashboard because he knows about this stuff, right? So just try to get that. Just try to be top of mind of people. So when I was making these slides, I realized that actually these two steps might be interchangeable. You don't need to first define your goal and then decide what you want to know for. You can do it the other way around. And also, you can be changing all the time. Maybe after some time, you realize that your goal might change. So that way, you can also change what you want to be known for. So these are interchangeable in my opinion. By the way, my name is Pablo. I am a principal SRE at Harness, as Joe said. I have 18 years of experience. I'm also a CNCF ambassador. I don't know if you are aware of CNCF. CNCF is the Cloud Native Computing Foundation that basically created and helped developing and supporting projects like Kubernetes, Prometheus, and all of those great open source tools. So because of this online persona and my personal brand, I also got invited to be an ambassador for the CNCF. That is great. As I said, I also have a YouTube channel where I make videos about these kind of technologies, Docker, Kubernetes, all of that, and also try to share what I do every day at work and what I think is the best way to help people and make them better engineers and better people as well. So you need to definitely know your audience, who is going to be watching or learning from you. When I started, my YouTube channel was named Pablo Fredrikson, which is my name. And then I changed it to Pelado Nerd. And this is funny because I remember making the first videos and chatting with people. I say, okay, your channel sounds interesting. What's the name of the channel so I can check it out? I said, yeah, Pablo Fredrikson. They say, what? How do you spell? Yeah, because in Spanish, Fredrikson is not an easy thing to spell or type, right? So people were like, yeah, you have to spell that for me. So F-R-E-D-R. Yeah, it sucked a little bit. I realized, okay, that's a problem. That's a barrier. People cannot find my channel because they don't know how to type my name, right? So I say, okay, let's find an easier way for people to find me. And I say, okay, pelado, which means, again, bald, a nerd. Yeah, you can see me. So it's easy to remember. It's easy to find. But the funny thing is that last week, I was on QCon talking with a Docker person, and I was mentioning my channel. I say, hey, I make channels about Docker. Actually, my Docker video has like 1 million views. Maybe we can work together. And they say, okay, yes, sure. That sounds like a good idea. How do I find your channel? Yes, Pelado Nerd. And I say, what? How do I type that? You have to spell it out for me. All right. Going back, so I'm going to actually changing my channel back to my name. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it was funny because the audience definitely makes a difference. I had to change it depending on who is going to be watching my videos. By the way, my videos are all in Spanish, so that's why it's my name in Spanish. So, who you want to influence with your brand? Maybe you want to influence your internal audience, which is, again, your company, your industry, right? You have to say yes to visible projects. So you have to build relationships across departments as well. I remember having an offsite a few years ago. We were talking about how to bring more customers to Split, our company. And I was chatting with the marketing department, and they had like, I don't know, a Twitter account, a LinkedIn account. And I said something like, sorry, but I do have a YouTube channel where I make videos. I think I know a little bit about social media, so maybe we can work together. We can help each other. Maybe we can. I have some suggestions of things that we can do on the Twitter account. Maybe we can write some tutorials, make some videos, things like that. So that was great because, again, going back to what I do, is just try to make the company better. Just to try to make engineering or just getting customers. The goal of the company at the moment was to get more customers. How can I help to bring more customers? Like installing Nginx is not going to bring more customers. So I just need to help the company how to bring more customers, and I have some experience with that, so maybe I can help a little bit. It is really important as well, if you want to build those relationships and you want to be visible, is to join leadership or planning discussions. Because you need to know what the company needs. And this is something really normal. I mean, usually engineers don't know what's going on in the company. Engineers just, again, install Nginx because they got a ticket that says install Nginx, so just go and do it. But they don't know why. Or maybe they know, but they don't know the actual goal of the company. And at that moment, the goal of the company, again, was to get more customers. So why is installing Nginx is helping the company to get more customers? Maybe it's not, maybe it is, but if you have that information, you know why you are doing it, and maybe you can change it a little bit. I don't know, this is just an example, but maybe instead of Nginx, Apache will bring more customers because we can have a partnership with some company or something like that. So maybe instead of Nginx, we can do Apache or web server. So it is impossible. It is important to know what is the company needing at the moment, right? So for external audience, let's say that you want to build your personal brand for outside the company, maybe for the industry. If you are aiming for a broader industry presence, think about what skills that you already know you can help other people with. Maybe you can write at tech blogs or make videos, speak at meetups or conferences, or maybe just contribute to open source projects. And just helping people helps. Helping people makes everyone better. I mean, makes the world a better place, right? So you need to build a presence that reflects you, but also needs to be careful. So these are a few considerations to have in mind in my experience. First of all, it's really hard to separate your job and your online persona. As Joy mentioned, when I was being hired, people say that was a good thing, of course, but it might be a bad thing as well, because people say, yeah, I don't like this YouTube video. They make videos about things that I don't like, so we are not going to hire him. In my case, it was a good idea. So it's really hard to separate your job. I mean, people in your company will find you online, right? So be careful with that. Things that you share, things that you do online. So yeah, be careful. Maybe things that you post or retweet, people will find it. So, and also try to align your public brand versus your internal brand. So if your public brand is about making videos about Docker, Kubernetes, obviously it would be nice to have the same persona inside the company. You are the guy from Docker and Kubernetes, right? If they don't align, maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time for a change either in your online persona or a public persona versus the internal one. Maybe you need to get a new job, or maybe you need to change your online persona or a public one, right? Obviously, talk with your manager and director about your online persona, make sure they're okay with it, and have it in writing. This is important as well, because if they can say, yeah, that's cool, and then maybe you get an email from the HR department or maybe the lawyer of the company saying that it's not cool. So yeah, you don't have any proof about saying, yeah, I got a conversation 2 years ago with my manager who doesn't work here anymore, and he says this was okay. That doesn't, yeah, that's not a great idea. So you have to have it in writing. So if you're looking for a new job, also talk about this during the interviews. Again, make sure that they're okay with it, have it in writing, right? And this is not bragging, or maybe, this is not bragging, or maybe it is a little bit, but you can use it in your advantage. For example, if you're having an interview, just say something like, yeah, I built, I don't know, these servers, I built this program inside my company. I also made a video about it in YouTube, if you want to check it out. So that actually, they will say something like, oh, okay, you have a YouTube channel? Yeah, I made YouTube videos about this. So people can be, people can like that. People can like that. Again, maybe they don't, but because people will find it, just it's better to have it beforehand, right? It's better to have that conversation beforehand. Also make sure that they're okay with it. So what's your passion? What are you going to be sharing? So I know that most people have a friend that cannot stop talking about dinosaurs or cannot stop talking about a topic, right? You go out, have a meal with them and say, yeah, this dinosaur is amazing. I mean, it has 6 legs like this one, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. So yeah, you need to find the thing that you're passionate about, and you cannot stop talking about it, because every time you go have a meal with them, they can stop talking about it. That is something that they want to share, right? And that is something that you can share as well. I remember watching a video. This one is called Brown. Color is weird. And it had 4.7 million views. I was watching this video, fascinated about it. This guy made a video, a 21-minute video, about the color brown. and it's great. You should check it out. You can take a screenshot there and check it out. It's going to be the links at the end. But when I was watching this video, being fascinated about it, I was thinking, this guy really likes the color brown, or really likes being nerd about it, about colors, about things, right? And before that, like 10 or 15 years ago, it was impossible for this guy to have an audience, in my opinion, right? Who is going to be interested about the color brown? Maybe some people are, I am, right? And maybe you are, but it's really hard to find the audience, And that's what YouTube makes, or the internet makes in general. Finds the audience for your niche, for the things that you're passionate about. This guy made a video about the color brown, and it has 4.7 million people actually watching this video. And I don't think that was possible 20 years ago. Great video, by the way. You should check it out. Yeah. So also be ready to pivot, right? Because maybe your audience will change, maybe your the time change, maybe your dinosaurs change, maybe you don't like dinosaurs anymore, you like cars, or you like running, things like that. I actually started running a couple of years ago, and I mean, if you saw me 2 years ago, this guy cannot run. I mean, I cannot run that well today, but yeah, and now I have another YouTube channel when I make videos about running. It's a small one, but yeah, try to share what I do. I like doing it. It's free to upload in YouTube. I don't know if you remember, but uploading a video before, it was impossible. You cannot, I mean, it was really hard or really expensive to upload a video and share it with someone. Now you can just put it on YouTube. It's free. So yeah, be ready to pivot. Maybe your interests are going to change. Maybe your audience will change. So you can change your content as well. Okay, so to finish up, first you want to define your goal, then you want to decide what you want to be known for. Remember, you can change this and maybe change your goal and change the second one. Understand and engage with your audience. Be careful what you choose or share. Find and share your dinosaurs. And you are probably already learning about dinosaurs in your free time, or the passion that you have. I remember having a conversation with someone yesterday, and they asked me, how do you find the time to do everything? Because I have a full-time job and also have 2 kids. I have my YouTube channel. I try to run and do other things, right? So how do you find the time to do all of that? And the secret is not a secret. It's that I am already investigating and learning about the things that I want to make videos about every day at my job. The other day, I was investigating about a technology called API 6 or EP6, which is an Apache API gateway. And I had to investigate a little bit, install it on a few servers, and then I had to write the documentation, share it with all the engineering platform team. And when I was investigating and writing the documentation, I thought about the video that I was going to make about it, right? And actually the documentation that I wrote was actually the script for the video. So I just was thinking about how to share this technology with my internal company, right, with my internal teammates, and also at the same time how to share this with the public company or the public audience, right? I also have a meeting in a few minutes, seems like. So I wrote the documentation. It was like a video. If you read the documentation, it says something like, okay, this is an API 6. This is called API 6. It's an API gateway. Okay, what is an API gateway? It's this, this, and that. What you can do about it? Okay, you can do something like this. You are still not surprised? Maybe you can do something like this. Not surprised yet? Okay, you can do something like this. It was a YouTube video. But I wrote it as a documentation. I sent it over. My friends liked it. My teammates liked it. And my friends, no, I don't know yet. I haven't recorded the video. But yeah, so you can use the time that you already are getting paid for, which is your job, to investigate about that. Or maybe if your passion is not something that you have in your job, again, dinosaurs, unless you work, I don't know, in NASA. Yeah, no, not NASA. Maybe dinosaurs in other planets. So you are already investigating that in your free time. Maybe over the weekend you read about them, so you are doing the research that you need in order to share that, right? I lost the focus. It's fine. There you go. And just be a good person. I think that's my step number 6. Just be a good person. I mean, if you are a good person, you will help others. If you are a good person, you will care about others and care about the company, what the company needs and what the industry needs and what your teammates need and what your friends need. If you are a good person, everyone will benefit. So you can start today, actually. So maybe you can write a blog post. Maybe you can share something that you investigated during your work hours and share it online. If, again, check with your manager, check with your director, have it in writing. But for sure, they will say something like, yeah, of course, it's fine. I mean, I have a ton of examples of things that we did during our work hours. And our director said, yeah, write a blog post about it and share it with others, I mean, publicly. Of course, they will have to check it out, make sure that no sensitive information is shared, but you can do it. I'm sure they will say yes. And also, ask a colleague from another department if they need help with a project that you are interested about. For example, let's say that you are interested on marketing, as I said. Maybe you have a tech background, but you are interested in social media, so just chat with the marketing department and say, hey, how can I help? Or maybe you are passionate about cars, or I remember having an interview as well with a guy who I was interviewing. We were talking about documentation, and he told me that he loves writing documentation. I don't know how we got to that point, but yeah, he loved writing documentation. And I said, oh, really? Why? Yeah, he said, yeah, I love writing documentation. Okay, can you, I don't know, show me an example or something like that? I said, yeah, can I send you over later? Yeah, sure. So after I finished the interview, he sent me the documentation. I didn't ask for any details. I didn't say, yeah, send me a documentation how to install whatever. No, I just send me whatever. And he sent me a documentation and said something like, okay, this is what I did. I created a server. I set it up with Docker Compose. I created a Wikimedia, Wikipedia page, right? Hosted myself. I changed the DNS by doing this and that. And also, I created like a domain, pointed it over, and this is the documentation I wrote. So he not only wrote the documentation, he also told me how he did it, and also, obviously, sharing his knowledge about Docker and all of that. And the documentation was about how to change a filter of an air conditioning in a Mustang 98 or something like that. And it was like, that's fascinating. Because he didn't make a documentation how to install Docker. He made documentation about what he's passionate about. And his car, the documentation was amazing. He had pictures and everything, all the steps. I don't know anything about cars, but sounds legit, right? Seems like a good tutorial on how to change that. I hired him because of that. So sharing something like that, your passion, will definitely make the world a better place, and you can get a job or you can get good things about it. Talk to your boss about your passions. Maybe they can give you ideas of things that you can do. You say something like, yeah, I like cars. Okay, we have a new car department. Or maybe we have a company where a new customer is a car company. So maybe you can be there and you can just, I don't know, talk about them, about cars. I don't know, whatever. Help someone today. Just go, send an email saying something like, hey, you need help with that? I can give you a hand. I remember a few months ago or a year ago, service was dying all the time. An application was dying all the time. And it was getting out of memory. And because of Kubernetes, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Kubernetes you can set like a check. And if the pod fails that check, it will kill it and restart it, right? So actually the problem wasn't too bad because it was fixing itself, right, all the time. The memory was going up, Kubernetes was killing it, all was kind of good. But at the same time, yeah, it's not a great idea to have a service going down all the time. I mean, you are using resources, you are paying for it, so it's obviously better to fix it. So I remember having this service going down all the time and saying to the team, hey, fix your service. It's going down all the time. They say, yeah, sure, I'll fix it. Days come by. Hey, the service is still dying. Fix it. Sure, I'll fix it. Okay, few days come over. Still the service going down. And I remember saying, okay, let's change this. Instead of asking them to fix the problem, let's try to help them to fix the problem. Maybe they don't know how to do it. I'm not a developer. I don't know anything about, languages. So, so how do I fix this problem? Obviously, I don't have the answer, but maybe I can help them. So I just went over their channel and say, hey, seems like their service died again. You want to maybe hop into a Zoom call and we can, talk about it and see what happens. Sure. So we just went into a call, went to Pablo's dashboard and checked that, yeah, seems like the memory was going up during these times. Seems like it was like a specific time frame. So we did some search together. We tried to figure out what was the problem. I gave them information on how to find the problem. And they figured it out like an hour later because they had all the information that they already had the information, but they don't know how to find it. So I just helped them. And the problem was fixed the day after. So by helping them, I benefited myself. I mean, my team was happier. I didn't get paid anymore. So yeah, just helping them. Easy. And I remember after that, the team was actually using that dashboard all the time because they learned about it. They didn't know about it earlier, and they now know about it. So I think that's it. This is, I made a website. As you can see, I'm also a really good UI person. That is full HTML. It works on every device automatically. You can search for that, or you can scan the QR code. It will give you there. There are all the links. Obviously, the brown video is right there, so you can click it and check it out because it's awesome. All the slides for this talk, all of my socials. I also put a few links about how to make YouTube videos if you want to check it out. It's really easy. The easy thing to do is just get good lighting and just your phone is fine. I mean, you should be fine with that. So I just made a few videos there. I added they're in English, so you can check it out. Easy to follow, just a few lights, and at your phone you should be fine. As always, you can check my site, pelaoner.com, and you can find my socials. You can send me an email if you need help with something like that. I can help. And I think that's it. If you have any questions, I'm all ears. Any questions? Oh, over there.
So I guess it's interesting to me that all your videos are in Spanish.
Yeah.
So how does kind of like interacting with two different languages, like is it kind of a different community? How has that been in general in your YouTube career?
Okay, cool. So I don't interact that much on English, at least on my YouTube channel. I do have some videos in English because I make interviews to other people, like Kelsey Hightower, for example, if you want to check it out. My YouTube channel. I also have a few interviews with people from Google. I also have an interview with our Docker guys, and those are in English and have subtitles. So the way that I interact with them is just I have subtitles for the English videos. But yeah, I try to focus on the Spanish-speaking people. I definitely can make English videos. Obviously, it takes more time. There are a few tools that you can use to actually dub your voice, and now with AI and all of that is easier. But it takes time, of course, and I don't see that benefit because I will have to basically dub all of my 400 videos, and currently it's not possible to add an extra audio track to a already published video. I know this is too nerdy for YouTube, but if you upload a video on YouTube, you can add different tracks, but you cannot modify an already published video. So the only thing that you can do with an old video is add subtitles. And I know that English-speaking people don't like subtitles that much, so yeah, I have a problem there. Maybe someday YouTube will allow you to add a track to a published video. In that case, I might do that.
Yeah, I think I'm next. Thank you, Pablo. Fantastic presentation. A very simple question. Sometimes people feel they are very busy and they assign some of the branding aspect to someone. What's your advice in your career, maybe advice that you can share? If it is possible or it's advisable, which part of the aspects can you delegate? I know some people, they give the content writing, they give some people to write and then they just review and then you put it on your handle because people are busy, right? So what's your take on the balance between trying to create everything by yourself and trying to get people to help you even if you eventually you pay them?
Great question. So at first, probably you will be doing everything yourself, right? It's going to be hard, it's going to be long, and your videos are going to suck at first, for sure. But after some time, you will get used to it and you will find things that you can delegate. It's really hard because it's like your baby. You don't want to give sounded weird, parts of your baby to someone else, but maybe you can get help or maybe get help from someone you trust. I remember watching a conversation with Mr. Beast, which is one really popular YouTuber, and he said something like, it is really stupid for you to be spending 8 hours on an edit for a video, plus 4 hours of recording, 2 hours investigating, whatever, and all of that, because you don't need to be doing all of those things yourself. And also, if you can only dedicate 8 hours to an edit, that means that it's limited. I mean, the amount of time that you can add to it is limited. So if you hire someone else to do the edit, they can maybe invest 24 hours to the edit because you don't have that much time, right? So you can delegate and that will make the video better. I actually did that. I have my brother, he was looking for a job and he didn't know how to edit. So I said, you will learn how to edit and you will edit my videos. I will pay you for it. He's a person that I trust, so I know I can talk with him, right? So now my videos are better because he edits my videos. He can spend more time on them than the time I was able to spend, right? So yeah, definitely at first you will be doing everything yourself, but there are a lot of things that you can do, someone else can do. Actually, the only thing that you need to do if you are making a video about yourself is just being in front of the camera, because you cannot hire someone unless you have a twin brother or something, right? But you have to be there in front of the camera. But everything else can be delegated. So yeah, you can do something like that.
What goals did you start off with, and how did those goals evolve over time?
Good question. So at first, I actually made a YouTube channel about vlogging. I was really, I watched YouTube all the time. So I was following a vlogger called Casey Neistat. I don't know if you heard of him. It was like in really great videos about just going for a run or going for have an ice cream. And it was fascinating for me. And I said, okay, I'm going to do the same thing, right? Just go for a run, get an ice cream, make a video about it, be a millionaire. Didn't work because people didn't know me. And obviously my videos weren't that great either, right? So I say, okay, now that I know that my videos suck if I just go for an ice cream, maybe I need to get people to know me and like me before they want to see my having an ice cream video. So how do I make people to find me? Okay, I'm going to make a video about Docker because people will say like Docker from newbie to pro, whatever it's called. And that's actually the name of my video, right? So people will search for that, find me, hopefully like me, right? And that way they will start seeing my other videos like passion videos, which are the vlog ones. After some time, I realized that I suck doing those videos, so I just kept doing the Docker ones because I already had some experience giving talks and all of that, so I liked helping people. I liked teaching people about technologies. So my YouTube channel changed a little bit to that. Actually, it was a new YouTube channel. I also have the other channel that I made, I mentioned before, about running, which is a mix between the two, right? Because it's more vloggy. I'm going for a run. I went to the Lombard Street the other way, the thing that you have to go up. That's really hard. I got an alert in my watch yesterday. Like too hard you are doing it today. Your heart rate is really high. Okay, so yeah, it's a middle, right? Because I make videos about running and also try to teach a little bit about running. Obviously, I don't know anything about running, but I try to teach a little the things that I'm learning every day because I'm a nerd. I like learning. I learn every day. I learn about nutrition. I learn about how to run. I learn about shoes. I learn about all of that. So maybe just share what I'm learning every day. Maybe help some people. And I actually got comments on my videos saying something like, oh, okay, now that I see that you lost some weight and you are running, and I'm also like a nerd, I don't run, I prefer computers and games. Now I tried, and I went for a run. I was 10 minutes, felt bad, but felt great after that. And thank you. So trying to help people by showing off what you're doing is always better for everyone. Just be a good person. Any other questions? Here.
So how long have you had the YouTube channel? What's the cadence of how frequently you do a new video? And what keeps you motivated to keep producing content on the regular and not getting burned out?
All right. 5 years for this YouTube channel. The previous one was 2 or 3 years before. This is almost 5 years in November, yeah. How often do I make videos? At first, I had a lot of time because my kid was a baby, so he was sleeping all the time. And it didn't require me to be running around. So I made 3 videos a week during some time. Because I also had a lot of content, right? Because I wanted to talk about Docker. Okay, so let's talk about Docker containers, then talk about CPU memory, then talk about whatever. So it was easy for me because there was a lot of things to talk about. Then Kubernetes. Okay, let's talk about services, pods, then deployments, then the stateful set. So I have a lot of content, right? Then my kid went a little older. Now it requires more time. I also got a new kid now. So I don't have time. So I try to make 1 video a week, but I don't record them one a week because obviously that is a lot of time. So what I do is I try to batch process all of them. And when my kid goes out for soccer practice and my wife takes my baby with them, that means I have 1 hour and a half to record videos, right? So I batch investigate 3 or 4 videos. And if I find like 1 hour and a half, why I record them when they are not around? Because they cannot, the screen, the sound, and all of that. So I try to record a few, 3 or 4 videos in batch, and just send them to my brother. And I have like a calendar in Notion with like a Kanban, a Kanban column, like edit, produce, thumbnail, whatever, and just have the dates. So they just move over, and he just realized that he can check on the Kanban and say what is the schedule and all of that. So yeah, and what I do for not getting burnout is hard because it's like a startup, right? Is your job like your second job, and if you don't work, you don't get money, right? For a startup, it's like you have your own company and you take vacations, it's really expensive, right? Because you have to pay for the vacations and also pay for the time that you weren't working. So it's hard, and you have to find a balance and try to get breaks, right? So I usually say I don't post videos in January, so I take a month every year. The bad thing about it is that I have to record them in December, have them ready during February, so all of that. So it's not that easy. But yeah, find new technologies all the time. Again, because I'm already investigating all the time during my work hours, I have topics and ideas. I have ideas from all the talks that we've seen in this amazing conference. And I was on QCon last week, got a few ideas as well. I met with people or just checked the comments of people, what they are looking for. So yeah, I have topics. The topics will never end. You have a lot of things to talk about. One more, how are we in time? 5 minutes. Okay, thank you. Good time. I like it. Any questions? Maybe one more. There you go. Over there. I have two. By the way, this is my first English talk.
Good job.
Thank you. Yes.
I was wondering about the quality and keeping quality of the brand. So you said your first video sucked, I believe you. And I guess all of our first videos would suck. But do you go back and delete them afterwards? Or do you keep them and say, well, I was really crap back then, but now look, it's much better now.
Good question. Yeah, in my case, I try not to delete them unless there is something that is wrong, like I say something that is not correct. No, I don't try to delete them. You can go to my channel and see my first video right there. It sucked. But yeah, I mean, it's a normal evolution. We all evolve over time. I'm sure that you all maybe think about yourself that you are in your best shape, not best shape, but better looks maybe. You look at a picture of you 5 years ago and say, what I was thinking with that hair or with that clothes. It's normal. I mean, you're evolving. Everyone is evolving all the time and learning new things. You are a better engineer now than before, 5 years ago. So yeah, everything hopefully gets better over time. Yeah, it's a normal evolution. Your videos will suck at the beginning. You will get better about it. You will be more efficient. So now, for example, at first I set up my videos every time, like all the cameras and the lighting every time. I had to turn down everything. Now I have everything in one place, right? So the camera is always fixed. The lighting is always fixed. All the lights are fixed. So I just press a button, say something to Alexa, and turn off all my lights. Just press record, and every video looks the same. So it doesn't take me time to start recording. So I remove that barrier, that variable, right? And also the lighting, the sound, everything is in the perfect place. So I don't lose time by adjusting things. Everything is perfect or almost perfect. And that allows me as well to improve a little by little every video, right? Because, okay, last week I saw that the lighting wasn't great here, so I'm going to adjust it a little bit. Now it's better. Okay, let's go and try to find small things to improve as well. So every time there is small improvements, and the videos are getting better, hopefully. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, is there someone else? Thank you. I'm speaking from here.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
Last
question from me.
Yeah.
Also, there is this fear. I don't know how you deal with it. I've written a couple of times, not even a couple, many times when I write, I'm about to push, then I think that, oh, hey, there must be a better version of this document out there. Don't bother. Just keep it, don't bother. And then that slows you down because you have this feeling. So I don't know how you manage that as well.
It's hard. So the quote I always think about when I'm thinking about that is, done is better than perfect. So just put a date on it, finish it, and just think about the same one. I think that's it. We are out of time. Thank you very much. You can find me on my socials if you have questions. Bye.